Hi everyone, I have two puppies on my lap. Okay, so just so you guys know why I'm moving around and stuff, I have two puppies on my lap who won't let me put them down. I just wanted to recap in response to the blog I posted a week ago called Goth Dating Problems, Why Goths Don't Date Non-Goths. I wrote this just to open up a discussion about a question that I have gotten over the years, and I'm sure many other alternatives have gotten or continue to get it, and people tend to misunderstand it. So I went over a few key points about the issue of acceptance, appreciation, protection, fetishizing of alternative people, microaggressions, and teasing. And I did, I tried to keep it limited to my own personal experience and just talk about things that I have experienced personally as well as things I have personally witnessed and friends of mine who have been in those type of situations. I in no way am trying to tell people that they can't date people that they want to date because they're not in the same subculture or lack thereof. I didn't make it to say, like, if you are in a relationship like that you're a weirdo or whatever, and that's unfortunately how some people took it. A lot of people shared it and it went like all over the place for a minute. Like it got like almost 10,000 views, and none of my written blogs have ever been this popular before. And I was just gonna let the comments continue. I answered a few of them, but the last couple of comments made or just things that people have posted and shared, I don't really know how to respond to, or, I feel like I kind of addressed that and stating, if you want to date someone, date them if they're nice, go for it. Don't try and limit yourself. And by saying that, if you are a goth or alternative, you can date whoever you want, but it shouldn't have to be like you shouldn't have to deal with all these different things. And I don't know. Okay, someone posted, like, some people are posting like, well, maybe that's not a goth problem, maybe it's a problem of who you surround yourself with, and you shouldn't really date those type of people. And I don't think that people like understand that when people show different signs of treating people in a certain way, they don't show those traits right off the bat. Those are things that you have to pick up on more and more as you see red flags, and it builds up into a thing. People don't often come into your lives sharing who they truly are, and by the time you find out, it's often too late one way or another. I posted this because I know a few years ago Tyra made like she had like an episode where this goth girl was wanting to date someone, and she said that I don't date non-goth guys, and Tyra basically had these guys pretend to be goth, and they were all great guys, just like through a point that you should limit yourself based on your subculture, that there are guys out there outside of what you usually go for, which I totally agree. But I made the blog just to highlight a few key points as to why people in the gothic subculture may choose not to date people outside of that subculture, because there's a lot of misconceptions, there's a lot of microaggressions. Like, it's a whole other level of things that you have to protect yourself from and others when it comes to those things. And I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't date whoever. I'm just going on my own personal experience. I've never been in a serious relationship with someone who wasn't goth or alternative. And when I've tried to date people who are outside of the subculture in various different ways, these are the problems that I've come in contact with, the examples that I've listed. And that's all I wanted to say, you know, like, this has been my experience. This is what people think, this is what people say, this is what people do. This has been my experience in trying to have a relationship with someone, multiple someones, throughout my life in a romantic way. I've had mostly male best friends since I was a teenager, and those were really good relationships as long as they were friends, but whenever they started to develop into something as more than friendship, that's when I started to run into issues. That's when I started to see all these different red flags, and those are the things that broke our relationship, and I'm no longer friends with the majority of those people because they couldn't accept me for who I am, and they couldn't fully appreciate me, and they couldn't really comprehend who I am and what I like, or just like respect it. And sometimes it wasn't them personally, it was their friends, it was their family. It was just a lot, and I just wanted to share that because it is a question that I've gotten over the years, and I'm sure other people will get this question. I'm sure other people go through these things. I did not in any way mean to try and tell people what they should and shouldn't do, or who they should and shouldn't date. It was not meant to be. It wasn't meant to be like. It wasn't meant to say you shouldn't date someone if they aren't goth or are alternative. And it wasn't meant to say if you are dating someone outside of the subculture that you are weird or strange and that you should change, or things are gonna go downhill from there, or whatever. I don't know. A lot of people got my points and they can relate to everything I said and then some, but I've seen some other people kind of take it the wrong way, and I didn't mean to try and assert authority over anyone. I didn't mean it to try and control people, and I really just wanted to point it out that these are issues that I face, and these are the examples. So next time you run into someone who is goth or alternative and they say, I don't date non-alternative people, or I don't date non-goth people, these are the reasons why. These may be some points. Maybe that person isn't singling people out. Maybe that person isn't discriminating against others. Maybe that person is just trying to protect themselves from dealing with some of the issues that I faced over the years and other type of sticky situations. You know, maybe that person doesn't want to have to explain their whole life story and how they got into the subculture and why they like the things they like and everything to someone who doesn't completely understand and may not be completely open and accepting to that. You know, maybe someone doesn't want to have to, maybe that person had a relationship or multiple ones with people who weren't alternative and it didn't go well, and they would like to avoid that type of thing. Maybe that person has had several friendships go downhill and they just would like to avoid encountering more experiences like that. So that was my intention. Just say like, hey, next time someone says that they don't date outside of subculture, maybe some of these points mentioned is the reason why. And it's not meant to discriminate, and it's not really meant to be an elitist thing. It's not really, like, I don't know, I didn't mean it to be a negative thing at all, and I'm sorry that some people took it that way. I do appreciate everyone reading the blog and sharing it with whoever, and contributing your thoughts and everything. I hope that this explains things further. I don't know how else to say it. I will include a link to this blog that I wrote in the description, along with my usual links. And let me know if you have any questions. I won't read it for you. I think that if you're interested in it, you can read it yourself. I'll just include a link below. But the key points that I did go over were issues of acceptance, appreciation, protection, fetishizing of alternative people, and microaggressions and teasing. And I just incorporate, a few examples of that, and, in that regard. So I hope that helps clear things up, and that people don't assume that I meant any harm, because I didn't. I really didn't.